Catherine from Long Island, New York. I am currently studying at your College of Pennsylvania to receive my bachelor's K-4 and special education K-8.
I want to be a teacher because I want to make a difference in the world. I want to be able to help students reach their full potential, and as a teacher, I want to be their guide to help them grow intellectually, socially, and emotionally. In my own education experience, I've had some teachers that have not made me feel good about myself or helped me get to my full potential. Unlike those educators, I want to do the opposite and be able to bring up students' confidence and help them to be the best person that they could be. Not only do I want to be their educator, I want to act as their role model and be someone that they can look up to.
As times are changing and technology becomes more relevant in today's society, I think that it is important for educators to keep up with technological trends that are circling in the classroom. I also believe that it is important for teachers to change their practices as times are changing. I think that education technology is very beneficial in the classroom. It can allow for teachers to make learning more engaging, be able to differentiate learning, and they can also be able to meet students' needs easier. I think that there needs to be a balance between education technology and non-technological learning in the classroom.
I think that it is important for students to have the same opportunity to have the same access to resources, including technology. Especially in high-poverty districts, it is important that schools try to build technology resources into their curriculum. According to Gordon in the Technology Horizons Education Journal in 2016, one way to improve internet access in high-poverty school districts is by schools rewriting school policies to support open access and bring your own device. By making technology a priority in school, that can help to ensure more technological uses of the devices at home. Another technological trend that is happening right now is the homework gap. This is when students will go from being surrounded by technology in school, then go home to have no technology or internet access. While many schools across the country are implementing more technology into their classrooms, many students still do not have internet access at home or have access to technology. According to the Council of Economic Advisors issue brief in 2016, a study found that in 2014, a quarter of Americans still do not have internet access at home. While there has been many strides to close the homework gap, many initiatives are still in the beginning stages. TPAC is a framework for teachers. It allows for teachers to have a good understanding of how technology works and how to incorporate it into their classroom. One section of TPAC that I will focus on is technological pedagogical knowledge. This will allow for me to be able to understand how specific technologies can help me to teach in different learning situations. For example, I will be able to know how to use Nearpod and its features properly. I will be able to present new information to my students and will be able to ask my students questions and check for understanding. Furthermore, I can be able to send my students on virtual field trips. I will be able to use all these features properly and incorporate it into my instruction without it being overwhelming for my students. ISTE is an organization that helps teachers have good quality understanding of technology and education. They impose certain standards that help with education technology. One important ISTE standard is Standard 1, facilitate and inspire student learning and creativity. I believe that this is important for teachers to incorporate creativity when educating students. It is also important for teachers to have their students engage with their learning by trying to use different educational tools. Teachers have to try to support the use of technology to learn in the classroom. By using different educational tools, that can help to expand the horizons of the world for the students. As asynchronous and synchronous technologies are becoming more mainstream in classrooms across the country, one synchronous tool that I find very valuable is Nearpod. I use Nearpod as a tool to interact and engage with my students while being able to present them with new information. In addition, I can also use Nearpod to check for my students' understanding, and I can also monitor what work they are doing. Nearpod is a fun learning tool that has many benefits for myself as a teacher and for my students. One other synchronous tool that I like to use in my classroom is Plickers. Plickers allows for me to give my students a formative assessment, and it also allows for me to check for understanding. Another benefit from using Plickers is that it only requires to use one technology device. This is a great tool that I like to utilize in my classroom. One asynchronous tool that I would like to use is GoFormative. GoFormative is a digital assessment that allows for me to conduct homework and can also give assessment to my students. One helpful aspect to GoFormative is that it allows for me to plan everything online and I can stay organized easier, and I do not have to use as much worksheets in class. I would use GoFormative as a way to check for my students' understanding about the content that we are learning. And another benefit is that there's different types of assessments that can be given that can be beneficial to different types of learners. Another tool that I would use asynchronously is Edpuzzle. Edpuzzle allows for me to teach my students new content by checking for understanding throughout the content video. By using Edpuzzle, it would allow for me to add questions throughout my presentation and make it more engaging for my students. Using Edpuzzle is a great tool to use in my classroom. I plan to use educational technology in my own classroom. I want to use it in such a way that is not overbearing and overwhelming. I think that education technology can be very useful in helping to make learning engaging and be able to differentiate instruction, but I do not want it to take over my role as a teacher. I plan to use educational technology in different ways that will make learning more engaging and enjoyable. I hope to keep up with the trends of education technology and be able to incorporate new technology into my classroom.